week 7 is, kind of, we deal with the manager and dealing with unions in the courts as well.
Right.
What are some of your thoughts around just that whole interaction with the manager and unions?
Well, these are two separate topics, right, really. In the case of unions, you want to engage them as well. The sanitation case in Los Angeles is a classic case of where you could have had a brutal confrontation, and instead you had a manager who, perhaps somewhat belatedly, brought the unions into the process and helped to make them a part of the solution, because the mayor, in effect, was saying, I need a 25% cut in your budget. It just got to happen. And he did at the time. And so the question was how to reduce spending by 25% and, conceivably, enhance productivity and performance. And they did it. How? With a process whereby the unions elected representatives to serve on these working groups. And these folks pointed out all kinds of things that were going on out in the field that were not adding to productivity, were spending money unnecessarily. And if you really want to know where the bodies are buried, ask the folks that are out there. Forget about bringing in high-priced consultants. Ask the folks that are out there. And in that particular case, it worked extremely well. Too many public managers don't do that. I mean, I hear this all the time about the teachers' unions. The teachers' unions, the teachers' unions. I mean, I'm getting tired of this teacher bashing. I work with the teachers' union. I signed a merit pay plan with the support of the teachers' unions. You did? What? They supported it? Yeah. We didn't call it merit pay, we called it the Horace Mann Teachers Program. But that's what it was. And it was developed in close cooperation with the teachers. Now, the one thing they wanted was that these outstanding teachers, who were named as Horace Mann teachers, take on some additional responsibility for the extra $4,000 or $5,000 that we were paying them. Okay, so what did that mean? Mentoring a young teacher or developing new curriculum. That was the suggestion of the teachers' union. It's fine. We incorporated it and did it. How? Because they were deeply and actively involved in our educational reform efforts from the beginning. And here again, too many public managers, including yours truly in my first term, keep the unions at a distance. Believe me, it never happened again. The guy that ran labor negotiations, good guy, kept saying, no, you want to stay out of this, you want to stay out of this.
What was
not the second time around, let me tell you, because this lack of contact and lack of engagement really developed, some very hostile feelings towards me on the part of the unions, and they were totally unnecessary. I mean, we could have resolved a lot of those differences.
Obviously, you got it right in Dukakis too.
I hope.
For the first time around, what was the reason for keeping the unions at a distance?
Because I listened to my labor negotiator, who had been there before, and a decent guy, who kept saying, hey, you don't want to get yourself involved in this. I mean, we'll take care of it, okay? Yeah, so our state police hadn't had a raise in 5 years, even while we were negotiating 5% increases with some retroactive pay for the rest of the unions. While they didn't want that, they wanted more. I mean, at a minimum, they should have got the 5% right away. Then go to fact-finding or whatever, or mediation on the rest of it. Get these guys some money. I mean, it was ridiculous. I mean, they were making $12,000 a year and trying to support themselves and their families in the mid-'70s. Believe me, that never happened again. And it isn't a question of giving away the store, it's just a question of listening. People are not unreasonable, Unions are not unreasonable. But teachers want to be engaged and involved in the educational enterprise. And after all, if they're not feeling good about their jobs, and if they're not engaged, then who's going to teach our kids?